countdown has begun. Five. We are 5 days away from the NFL draft. Danny Savage, Draft Guru. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a like. It don't cost a dime. So now there's a group of podcasters out there that it could be Arbor Day, and they say, "Oh, we're not doing any videos, we're not doing any content. It's a holiday." I don't know I don't know what that means. Because my entire life, Christmas, I worked at New Year's Eve, worked at New Year's Day, worked at Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter. I don't know. I was always working. Thanksgiving, Dallas was probably losing. I worked most of them. Christmas Eve, Halloween, you trick or treating? Nah, I was working. And guys call this work, it puts a tip on themselves that they never ever had a real job in their life. Talking about football is work. 5 days away from the draft. This is Dallas Mock Draft 89.0, and I'm going to be dropping another one later tonight. So we're going to be by tonight, we're going to have 90 videos, 90 mock drafts. We're going to get to 100 by next week. And Wednesday is when I officially put out my mock draft. That is who I would take. But you got to realize I'm always doing different mock drafts because you can't talk about. This is not a channel that you're going to hear Victoria McMillan every day. You're not going to hear Austin Gentry every single day. Wrong. You're not going to hear it. Can't talk about it. And like a lot of these people just get one or two players in their mind, and then that's it. And I'm not sticking up for Dallas, but then if their team doesn't draft those players, then they think the draft was a failure, and that's the furthest thing from it. All right, so I was going to do a trade back, but I go, maybe I'll do that one for tonight. At 12, we're sticking with our roots, and this kid has a high ceiling. He only had 1.5 sacks, but he had like 42, 43 pressures. So he's Shamar Stewart, Edge, Texas A&M. He's 6'5", 270. This is also a Matt Eberflus pick because if you followed his defenses at Chicago, he was into the traditional, much bigger 4-3 end. He was into the traditional, much bigger linebackers. It showed with Sanborn, and now we traded for Murray. So Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M, he would be like a Tank Lawrence 2.0 because we had Tank for all those years, and Dallas's fans justified Tank by saying, "Oh, he doesn't have sacks, but he gets a lot of pressures." So, Shamar Stewart is perfect for Dallas. Is he my number one edge? No, not even close. I shouldn't say not close, but he's up there. Next, at 44, we have the Samoan bulldozer that no one's talking about. Jonah Salavia, guard, Arizona State. 6'4", 330 pounds, a shade short of 11-inch hands. So basically, he has hands like a catcher's glove, man. When he gets his meat hooks on you, he's done. But you see, he's versatile. 36 starts at left tackle. Then he had 6 starts at right guard. And then I think 16 at right tackle. Now, my opinion, bro, this kid, no one is talking about this kid. No one's talking about this kid. He is just a straight bulldozer. And the knock on him is his height and his arm length. So that's going to push him inside. But let's say worst case scenario in a emergency, you could put him 805 on. Boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. In an emergency, you could slide him out there, but because he has crazy experience at tackle. But I think at the next level, he is a guard. He's a pure guard, and he's going to knock you down and then knock you down again. He looks for contact. Like I said, at left tackle, he would get exposed a little bit on an island. He doesn't have long arms to keep the D tackles, the D ends away from him. So some guys, and it shows, man, there's power players, there's finesse players. In a way, I can like try to break that down for you. Like Tony Baselli, he's a Hall of Famer. He played for the Jaguars. He was a monster. He was big. I would say he was more of a technician at left tackle versus Trent Williams is just a straight bulldozer. He's a more powerful player. Same thing like with Eric Williams, a power player. This kid is just straight goon. Straight goon that's going to open up massive lanes. 44, he's a bargain. At 76, a lot of people ain't talking about this kid, but he's flying up the boards. Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, Florida State. 6'3", 305. He can play either 3 or 1. He's that powerful. He gets his hand down. He plays super low. And my opinion, like I said, the combine is a beauty show. I don't care what you weighed at the combine. Because I know, and everyone else knows, you didn't weigh that during the season. People inflate their weight higher or lower. This kid lost weight for the combine. He didn't want to come in too heavy. He played bigger than that at Florida State. And if you don't have the eye to, stick out, I can't. If you to pick that out, I can't help you. What's up, Dallas fan 1997? Thank you for jumping in the chat. Real quick, at 12, took Shamar Stewart, 6'5", 270 out of Texas A&M. Just because he has a high ceiling, 1.5 sacks only, but he had, I believe, 42 pressures. Very high ceiling. I don't even think he's going to get to 12, to be honest with you. I don't, but we're just talking about different people. Dog Pound 802, thanks for jumping in chat. Combine is just like high school football. Listen, I'm sorry, man. I think 7-on-7 is comical, man. It's like I've legit seen teams win like 7-on-7 championship tournaments and then go 0-9 during the regular season. What does that tell you? A lot of it's the horses in front of you. But I gotta laugh a lot on 7-on-7. And then I even laugh a lot when I see like these young kids in high school, like maybe they'll put a shell on each other and they'll go to these camps. And first of all, I wouldn't wear a shirt, so you couldn't hold me. But what are you really showing off with just T-shirts and shorts? But that's just me. That's how I guess these kids maybe years ago got a lot of got noticed. But in today's world of everything's social media, I think it's comical, man. And a lot of those drills are set up for sometimes for the offensive lineman to, it favors them. So Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle at 76. The second pick at 44 was the Samoan bulldozer Jonah Salavia, Arizona State, 6'4", 330. We're plugging him in at right guard because no one's talking about him. Now we got to go. We have to wait because we have no fourth-round pick. And then at 149, we got UCF's R.J. Harvey. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? I was pumping this kid in May, bro. In May, I was pumping this kid. Over the last 2 years, he's rushed. Just the last 2 years. 3,000 yards, 43 touchdowns in 2 years. That's nuts. 5'9", 205. 5'9", 205. It seems he's getting a late push, and the Virginia Tech kid, Bashal Tootin, who ran a crazy fast 40 at the combine, are getting late pushes. I seen Harvey going in the third in a mock. Yeah, I've seen some too. But it's ironic. Like I said, I was talking about this kid in May, and now he's gaining. He can fly, and he can come out of the backfield and catch passes. At 174, like I said, I do a lot of my mocks, man. I just talk about different people, so it's not the same old thing. I'm going to give this to a Matt Eberflus pick because we know he likes big linebackers. I'm not really high on this kid, but because listen, you can nitpick. He's overaged. Played 6 years of ball, 4 years starter. Notre Dame linebacker Jack Kaiser, 6'2", 230, 55 tackles. I can deal with that. 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. He did play, though, with a really good defensive line in front of him. They had Howard Cross the third. He should be a day 3 pick. The only thing to knock on him is he's short. Ryan Mellis, he's taller, much bigger, but he blew his knee out early in the season. So he's going to slide because of the knee injury. He's going to be a third day. And then they had Duke transfer R.J. Owen. Ironically, man, they had Howard Cross, his dad played for the Giants, and R.J. Owen, his dad played for the Giants. And ironic, both of their kids on Notre Dame's defensive line. So like I said, Jack Kaiser, he's just a blue-collar linebacker. He ain't going to pop out on you on tape, and he has nice size. Next at pick 204 is Mount Holland Pierce. Holland Pierce, offensive tackle, Rutgers. 6'8", 350 pounds. It is ironic. I put this kid out there in May. In May, I put him out there. Former walk-on, started 4 years. He walked on at like 450 pounds. At pick 204, we're taking Holland Pierce. He started 2 years at right tackle, then 2 years at left tackle. He will get exposed at left tackle in the NFL, so I'm sliding him to the right, and I think he's a right-only side player in the NFL. And if he is too stiff for right tackle, I'll slide him right into right guard. It's amazing. Last year, the Eagles, their right guard was 6'7", 380. It's amazing. The Ravens, their right guard is 6'8", 400 pounds. Daniel Falele. But yet, you got the people that say, oh, he's too tall. He can't play guard. Put a tip on yourself, man. How big was Kevin Gogan? Really, really, a lot of guys put tips on themselves, man. Here's a kid sleeper, major sleeper, man. But I give you the good, I give you the bad. He's also a one-year wonder, but he's a major sleeper, and that is Khalil Mullings, Michigan. 6'1", 230, bigger. So now Harvey, 5'9", 210, speedster, boom. Khalil Mullins, 6'1", 230. That's who you bring in the second half, and that's who you bring in at the goal line. But long story short, this year it was Donovan Edwards' year. That's it. He chose to come back, get his bag of money, and he made a business decision. So, because I really don't know what Donovan Edwards you're going to see at the next level, and I don't. And maybe by the fourth game of the season, Khalil Mullins took Donovan Edwards' job away from him, and in a timeshare with just 185 carries, he put up 950 yards and 12 touchdowns, playing on a Michigan offense that only returned one starter in Colston Loveland. So basically, this kid came out of nowhere, sent Donovan Edwards' ass to the bench, and he became the starter. Like I said, where I ranked Edwards and where I put Edwards on my sleeper list because I don't know what Donovan Edwards you're going to get. But this kid, the 1-year wonder, that's a bad thing. Good thing, he doesn't have a lot of carries, man. His body is fresh because he was, he played for 3 years. He didn't do much first year, second year. But when they handed it to him, came out of nowhere. I'm telling you, someone's going to get a bargain with him. Khalil Mullins, Michigan. At 217, listen, this kid is a speedster. He was nicked up in 2024. The U, wide receiver, Sam Brown. Nice size, 6'2", 195. He's a speedster. He had a down year. He only had 36 catches for 510 yards and 2 touchdowns. But great size, and he can fly. It's just, hey, you can't help it. He had a as crazy as it sounds, he had a better 2023 and he played with 4 different quarterbacks in 2023. In my opinion, he's just someone to stretch the field. And like I've said, I'm throwing different names at you. 239, man. Yo, I'm telling you, no one is talking about this kid. No one. No one. No one. Syracuse linebacker, Marlo Wax. 6'1", 240 pounds. He was hurt. He got hurt early in the season in 2024, and he had a bad year. He only had 30 tackles, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. Last year, he had 74 tackles, 4 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. In his career at Syracuse, 23 sacks this kid has. He just has a knack for getting to the quarterback. And yo, I'm going to compare this kid to who can I comp him to, man? I'm going to say 2023's Aaron Casey. He played for Indiana, man. See, yo, this kid's at 239. I put him as my linebacker 10. He's my linebacker 10. All you got to do is check my last year's rankings and see how many 10s I had that went undrafted, yet still made the team, and still started double-digit games. My my rankings are all on my 2024 ranking. Last year's drafts, all the rankings are on my page to look at. Your thoughts, George? Your thoughts on Teddy Buchanan, Cal linebacker? Yo, it's ironic. I have a Cal kid on here. I'm gonna be honest with you. Him, I don't know much about, but I'm giving you Cal's safety. Craig Woodson, that was my next pick at 247. Craig Woodson, Cal, great size, 6'1", 200 pounds, 3-year starter. He's coming off. Cal had a good running back. He transferred, but I can't talk about him because he's one of my guys for next year. He's coming off a 45 tackle, 2 interceptions, 7 passes defensed. Craig Woodson. So you're asking about Teddy Buchanan. I'll look him up. It's possible I went over him and he just didn't. It's possible he's one of my 717 players. I don't know. Is our OC good? We don't even know. This is the biggest year of what ifs. We don't know what we're gonna see, man. We have no idea, man. We really don't. He's working out with Patrick Williams every day. He's from college. Teddy Buchanan, I'll look him up. Like I said, he could be part of my 717. He might not, but the name, all the games that I watched with Cal, their running backs stood out for me. And even Jaden Ott barely played, man. Jumped in the portal. I'm pretty sure he went to Oklahoma. But he wasn't stupid though either, man. This running back class is so deep. But I already got like probably 40 to 50 players for 2026, next year's draft. Patrick Willis, Hall of Fame linebacker. Oh, for the 49ers, so he's working out with him. Teddy Buchanan, Cal. I'll look him up and I'll also see if he's part of my, I'll look, I have like 9 notebooks, but I don't know. Let me see real quick. Teddy Buchanan. The name doesn't ring a bell. Hold on. Let's see. Boom. Let's see. He ran a 4.6, 6'2", 233. All right. He came out of the Big Sky. He was only at Cal for 1 year. Let's see where he's ranked. Doesn't even say. Doesn't even say. But I'll look him up for you. I'll look him up for you. Nate Dogg, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. Uncensored Cowboy, boom. Thank you for jumping in the chat. We gotta get someone to go live. Yeah, right? Going crazy too. Nate Dogg, George Boning. So, boom, real quick, we're just gonna go over the draft real quick before we move on. Real quick, at 12, we went Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M, edge, 6'5", 270. He has way too much upside. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even see him on the board at 12. Which was what's going to get the players, what's going to get the teams to bite, even though he had like 1.5 sacks, is the 42 pressures, which does show you he's disruptive. And he's 6'5", 270. And he's definitely the first kid off the bus type of guy. Number 2 at 44 is the Samoan bulldozer, Jonah Salavia. He was a tackle in college, but he's being slid into guard in the NFL. 6'4", 330, 10-inch hands. He's like a bigger Umaga. This dude's just a straight mauler beast. At pick 76, we got Joshua Farmer, defensive tackle, Florida State. They list him at 305. He played way more. He was played bigger, heavier than that. 6'3", 305. But you can honestly, he could play one tech. At 149, RJ Harvey. I'm telling you, this running back class is going to be like, I'm going to be honest with you, this entire class, somebody might have around 6th grade on somebody, and then another one might have around 2. That's how crazy this class is. And at pick 174, we got Notre Dame linebacker Jack Kaiser. 204, Holland Pierce, a 6'8", 350-pound offensive tackle. At 211s, bro, crazy sleeper, Khalil Mullings out of Michigan, 6'1", 230. He set Donovan Edwards' ass to the bench. I watched Donovan Edwards become like an all-pro in the NFL. I'm telling you, bro, Donovan Edwards made a business decision. At 217, we got Miami speedster that's going to spread the field, Sam Brown, 6'2", 195. At pick 239, we got Syracuse middle linebacker Marlo Wax, 6'1", 240. Crazy production. He had, like I said, he had a down year. He only had 30 tackles and 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception with an injury in 2024. And then at 247, we have Cal's safety, Craig Woodson, 6'1", 200 pounds, solid 3-year starter, 45 tackles, 2 interceptions, to 7 passes defended. Cal jumped into the ACC. So you no, I'm really not. He's not my number 1 edge. My number 1 edge is Mykal Williams out of Georgia. I just don't want to talk about the same people every single day. So I throw all different. Savage, send me a bottle. I promise you will never, ever hear the name Trey Lance on this channel. I think he's in the USFL or the Chargers or something, but I can't even believe he got signed. That just shows you how the lack of quarterbacks there are in the NFL. That Trey Lance still got like a $6-7 million contract is amazing. I think he went to the Chargers. I guess Harbaugh must see something. I don't know. So that's today's draft. Questions, comments, concerns. So, this is WrestleMania weekend. I didn't even know that. That's odd, man. That's what I heard. Last WrestleMania I watched was when they buried Sting and the NWO. At that point, just couldn't do it. Switched to Ring of Honor and New Japan at that point. But yeah, that's it. Let's go live for Mania. I think you're gonna laugh. I was texting with Fifth Quarter yesterday, and he was saying he was thinking of doing that. So where is it this year? But I just it's weird that they're having it on a holiday weekend. You know, uh, sweet Vegas, nice. Have you been to any Oxnard camp? Hell no. First of all right, training camp. Get you ready for the NFL. Texas in July, August, it's 190 degrees. No, let's go to sunny Oxnard, California, where it's 60 degrees. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like, it doesn't make sense. And then remember the one year we scrimmaged, not scrimmage. Yeah, no, we held it. Yeah, it's a scrimmage. We had a joint practice with somebody. And Neville Gallimore was like hung over because he was just, oh, it's my killer. Right? Neville Gallimore during preseason was hunched over, out of breath. Why, might you ask? Because Dallas goes to where it's 60 degrees to get in shape. Yet when Jimmy Johnson coached first day of training camp, it was 11 on 11. Ever Dallas practices in the Star, man. I mean, I'm a listen. Dallas goes to Oxnard just for that. And last year, ironically, a lot of those bleachers were empty, man. But like, I mean, I'm gonna pay to go watch training camp for a team that hasn't won jack shit in 30 years. Nah, I can't do that. Your thoughts on Shamar Stewart at the end from Texas A&M? The kid is a freak, genetic freak. He's 6'5", 270. Uh, got a big bag to go to Texas A&M. He has 5 sacks in 3 years. He legit averaged like a sack and a half a year. Now, this past season, same thing. 1.5 sacks, but he had like 44 quarterback pressures. So the fact that he's that disruptive, listen, they could have been asking him to do too many things. If you just, like, some people are not multitaskers, so you just tell this kid one thing. And your one thing is to kill the quarterback, and then you also got to tell him to be good against the run. But he is at 6'5", 270. That's a prototypical NFL old 4-3 defensive end. Look at the size of Dallas's defensive ends. Bro, they're 6'2", 250. 250 on a good day, man. I honestly think Micah plays closer to 240. I think Parcells was the one that picked Oxnard. Like I said, I would want to vomit when I would see Bill Parcells. I can Bobby Carpenter, Anthony Fasano, bro. I can take out a book of busts, straight busts he picked. And he was the guy that came out with, oh, if they want you to make dinner, they should have at least you buy the groceries. He couldn't buy the groceries in Dallas, man. He had one decent draft where we got DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten, and Jay Ratliff out of it. After that, I could go. I'm telling you, man, don't make me go back because I could pull out the picks, man. It was like, then he drafted this kid, Bobby Carpenter from Ohio State, who was straight dog shit in college, but he only drafted him because his father played fullback for him when he was with the Giants. It was disgusting. I don't think he started one game and then he bounced around the league. And I honestly don't think he started anywhere else. He was hot dog shit, bro. Gross, gross. That's one of our worst first round draft picks ever, ever. Google him. Look him up on YouTube, man. Gross. Bobby Carpenter. That's true. Parcells wanted Oxnard. Jerry wanted Texas because Ford wanted to sponsor camp, but only in Dallas. I hear you all talk every night about Oxnard. Jerry wanted Texas. Listen, like I said, man, maybe if they practiced the entire camp in Texas, we wouldn't be off to another slow start. I think we all, yeah, today, it's Friday. You're right. It's vanilla rainbow sherbet today. They're taking it easy on them because it's a Friday. Uh, I think we can all agree Dallas is a slow starting team, or they've been for the last 10, 15 years. And it's like, I know you're only allowed to hit a certain amount of days, but that doesn't mean they are. And yet, then you see the type of camp that Dan Campbell runs, and he tells his players, he's like, yo, I wish we didn't have to do this, but it proves hitting more in camp is going to get us ready for the regular season, and it's going to, it's going to cause you not to get injured. And in the entire NFL, how often do we see these early season injuries, man? So often early in the season, and especially a lot of non-contact injuries. But what do you expect when you're doing walkthroughs for 5 weeks in a row, and then you think you're going to go out there and go 100 miles per hour? Yo, there's cardiovascular shape, and then there's football shape. There's two different things. And like that's why it usually takes Dallas kids to get like 4 or 5 games before they got their legs underneath them, it looks. But then you see Michael Parsons, like, I don't know, I think he's eating bad trim because like you see him like game 15 and he's hung over. I don't know, man. I just don't see it. Don't see it. Especially with all the timeouts, the TV timeouts. You go one way. You're the 1% of the 1% greatest athletes in the world. How the f are these guys getting tired? I throw my hands up in the air, man. I don't see it. Just shows you they don't get ready. Like we're the only team in the NFL that does not play their starters at all in preseason. Listen, I'm not saying I want to see them in game. 2 quarters would be nice. The last say I saw we're down to 3 preseason games, so the second preseason game, it would be nice to see 2 quarters. How long did it take Dak and CD Lamb to like even like kind of get some chemistry? What do you expect? Lamb wasn't in camp. What are you gonna do? But you all open the season with the Eagles this season. Oof, that's rough, man. Eagles just have to hope that you don't get that Super Bowl hangover. You know what I'm saying? But yo, they got a young team, man. Eagles have a young team, and you heard it here. Watch them trade up to like 15. The Eagles are looking to trade up. The Chiefs are looking to trade up. The Steelers are looking to trade up. Telling you, don't be shocked. Also, too, you see the Redskins trade up and get their big bruiser running back. But Eagles are going to trade up and get an edge. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And the Chiefs, because Chiefs need offensive linemen. And the ones that are floating around out there, I don't know, I'm not that high on, but if the Eagles draft tight end from Bowling Green, does that make them unbeatable? Here's my opinion on Harold Fannin. And this is not shitting on the kid because the kid's a freak. But he was more like a glorified wide receiver. 6'4", 230. Kid was a freak in the MAC. A freak. The difference between NFL tight ends and college tight ends is one thing, and that's blocking. So you're going to get absolutely nothing out of him in the run blocking department. So are you going to listen? I like Fannin. I do. It's just that you got Mason Taylor from LSU. That's Jason Taylor's son. He's a beast. You got the kid Arroyo out of Miami. You got Colston Loveland. Yo, there was even chatter today about Colston Loveland going 10 to the Bears because the Jets are going to take Tyler Warren. I said it. I've been saying it for months. Don't be shocked you see 3 tight ends in the first round. Now they're talking up to 4 tight ends. It is a very good tight end class. But I definitely see the Eagles getting a tight end. God, it's done, man. God, it's done. Eagles are going to get a right guard. They're moving up, though, for an edge because they lost Sweat. Graham retired. Then the kid, I think Milton Williams, I think his name was, he left in free agency. He played at Louisiana Tech. Eagles are definitely going to move up to get an edge, but Eagles need an edge, a right guard, and a tight end. But it's a deep draft, man. Arondé Gadsden, Syracuse, sleeper. Gunnar Helm. You're going to laugh. I said back in September, I'm like, Arondé Gadsden, crazy sleeper, Syracuse. Kid's like 6'5", 230. His dad actually played wide receiver for the Cowboys. And how ironic we get to now and everybody has Arondé Gadsden in their top 10. I said that in September. Another kid he's not getting the love he deserves is Jake Bringenstool, Clemson, 6'5", 245. Also the Alabama kids, man. The CJ Dupree, and there's another one. I'm sorry. Jalen Milroe is not even on my list. He's a fullback to me, man. Not in my world, but that's just my 2 cents. But the Eagles, I've seen mocks. They could probably get a Mason Taylor round 2. That'll be scary. Thing with Philly, I think, is going to be is if Saquon could stay healthy again. Me personally, I would bet against it. I would have bet against him staying healthy for all 17 games. But they're going to be the team to beat in the East. Then I'll say the Redskins too. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dallas and the Giants, you can flip a coin. The Giants are going to throw some picks at the offensive line. They got good skill positions, and they have a very underrated defense. And they have the 3rd pick in the draft. They get Abdul Carter or Mason Graham. I would go Abdul Carter, but they have a very young, good defensive line, the Giants. But what do I know? So, hope everyone liked it. I'll be jumping on later on with mock draft 90. 990. Mock draft 90 for Dallas. And then tomorrow I'll be putting out a 32 team. I think tomorrow will be my 30 out of the 32 team mock drafts. I think tomorrow might be 8.0 edition. Why are Cowboy fans saying they don't Ohio State wideouts because he's too much like C. Lamb? I don't even. In my opinion, I think C.D. Lamb and Emeka Egbuka are two completely different wide receivers. Egbuka is much smaller than Lamb. Lamb is. The Dallas fans that is shitting on Emeka Egbuka, they just don't watch football, bro. Yet he would be a perfect number 2 to C.D. Lamb, in my opinion. If Dallas wanted to trade back, I would trade back, pick up a 3, and he would be a solid pick. But then I don't see Dallas. I mean, I would love to get one of Ohio State's running backs, either Junkins or Trevon Henderson. Ironically, if you go back to May, both Junkins and Trevon Henderson were in my top 5 running backs in May. So I don't see. But then again, Dane Brugler did a Dallas mock, and he did have 2 Ohio State kids on their team. Listen, man, the Cowboy fans that are talking shit about Emeka Egbuka, he'd be a perfect fit. He's a perfect wide receiver, too, in Dallas's defense. And there was plenty of times he stepped up. Bro, any other college, Emeka Egbuka would be wide receiver 1. Only at Ohio State, he was wide receiver 2 because he played with Marvin Harrison, who's a freak, and then a true freshman in Jeremiah Smith that at 19 years old can play in the NFL right now. That's the only reason Emeka Egbuka was wide receiver 2. Any other team, he's wide receiver 1. Because Dallas fans watch shows on the YouTube machine where they only talk about the same 3 people. And that's all they know. They know Trattoria McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona State. They know Austin Gentry, running back, Boise State. Who else they talk about on every channel? Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas. That's it. Cowboys kind of hating on Egbuka because they don't know football, man. What is there to hate on him? Seriously, I would love to hear their breakdown of him. I would love to see them, Now you got me. I got to see where I put him. Now you got me wondering. I know he's in my 10. This is my special secrets Patreon. You can go to my Patreon and buy my draft breakdowns. I'm joking. I don't have Patreon. I just want to see where I put Egbuka. I got wide receivers in the back. It's in this one. Let's see where I got Emeka Egbuka. Hold on. All right, boom. Tight ends. Emeka Egbuka is my number 2 wide receiver in this draft. He's number 2. Number 2 wide receiver in this draft. And guys are hating on him. It just shows you, it shows who watches football, who doesn't, who listens. Bro, there's content creators out there that can talk about, they could just pick a college, like Glass Joe, let's say, from Eastern Washington. And then that's it. Everyone will just be like focused on that. Nah, bro. If he drops past 20, I would be surprised. One of those creators is on the Cowboys draft show. I've never I don't even watch that show. I don't watch it because this one guy used to be on it. That's the JC. That's the Jeff Kavanaugh Star of Death. Because every wide receiver he's ever spoken about, anyone remember every single draft show he's told you about how great Jalen Reagor it was? Remember that, man? Who else? How do you listen? It's okay to mention someone in passing, but now saying someone every fucking show. How about Sky Vaughn, who went to the I think Kansas City Chiefs, and he's out of the league. Then I'm trying to think who was the third wide receiver. Yeah, I'm seriously, bro. That's fucking Jeff Kavanaugh. He's the star of death, bro. If I was an agent and he brought up my name, I would send him a cease and desist order. I would have, because I'm like, yo, the second perfect example, last year, he was blowing up Malachi Corley. Yo, I swear to God, I took Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky. I crossed him off my board. I said, that's it. You ought to kiss of death to Malachi Corley. Every single show, he was Malachi Corley, Western Kentucky, is Deebo Samuel 2.0. Malachi Corley went to the Jets and did nothing. And you can go back to check my last year's wide receiver rankings. I just scratched him right off because that's why I don't like to hear him talk, because this year he was doing a lot of talking about names. He is the kiss of death to talent. But it just shows you, it's not what you know, it's who you know. He never played football. Played flag football. And you want to hear something fucked up? Yo, I'm going to get him one day, man. I'm going to roll up on him one day. Check this shit out. He challenged me to a bet. So me being nice, I go, loser has to donate $50 to the your local ASPCA, because I'm a big dog guy and he has dogs. And that was the bet. He lost the bet, and then I called him out on it. Not once, twice. And then he blocked me on Twitter. I'll run into him. I'm showing my age, but years ago, when someone didn't pay their bets, you called them a welcher. But you're going to look horrible when there's a camera in your face saying, yo, did you donate $50 to the animal shelter? And he challenged me. That's the funny part about it, man. And then blocked me. He doesn't pay his bets either. The kiss of death. There was, so Malachi Corley, Jalen Reagor, Sky Vaughn. Like I said, man, listen, none of us hit 100 on 100. But there's a difference in talking about a guy in passing or putting him in a mock versus legit. He would talk about these wide receivers every single show. A couple years ago, he had a safety from Appalachian State. He talked about him every single show. I'm like, bro, man, you don't know jack shit about football, man. Like, and then what? Yeah, he quit the Cowboys to become a YouTuber. Yeah, that sounds like logical. sound advice. Listen, bro. You can tell he's a trust fund kid, bro. You can just tell. He's never got a callus on his hands in his life, man. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, man. Sky Moore. Yo, he talked non-stop about Sky Moore, man. The dude straight hot garbage, man. And then this year, like I said, I didn't watch it, so this is third-hand knowledge. What's his name? What's the older guy's name? With glasses. He went to LSU. I'm just having like I'm drawing a blank. The old Broadus. Yo, this is like I said, I don't watch the show, but it was third hand knowledge. Brian Broadus says Jeff Kavanaugh is on the money when it comes to wide receivers. So the 6'5" wideout from Stanford, Elick Iamore, your thoughts? He ain't 6'5". He's like 6'2". He's like 6'2", 210. His claim to fame is he ripped apart Travis Hunter when Stanford played Colorado. He's a draftable. I'll tell you where I got him right now. Where I have him. He has good size, but he's like 6'2". Elick Iamore. He should be a top 10 or close. He's 11. 6'2", 210. 63 catches, 871 yards, 6 touchdowns he had. But his claim to fame was he ripped Travis Hunter. Here's a name to look out for. Nick Nash, wide receiver, San Jose State. Remember that name, bro. Remember that name. Ricky White, UNLV. That's a name to look out for. Yeah, Elick Iamore, I got him at 11. But still, 6'2", 210. He ran a 4.4. He has good size, and he's good. He's a good run blocker. Broadus wants Gentry. Here's Ty Felton, Maryland. Solid pick. He was my 18th ranked wide receiver. 19th, Efton Chisholm, the third, Eastern Washington. Bro, this kid, 3,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, 5'11", 200 pounds, bro. And it's amazing. If you look, he's flying up, not flying up boards, but he's getting up boards. He's coming up. Sleeper, Rock Taylor, Memphis. I got Tej Johnson all the way at 24. Yo, let's be honest, man. The Dallas fans will get this. Yo, Dallas fans make fun of who's our kick returner that looks so small that weighs 175 pounds. I'm drawing a blank. But long story short, our kick returner weighs 175 pounds, and he looks like tiny. He's small. Tej Johnson out of Oregon is 20 pounds. Turpin. Tej Johnson from Oregon is 20 pounds skinnier than Turpin. He has a rude awakening for him in the NFL. Tej Johnson. Let's see my other. Let's throw some other rankings out here. Running back, I got Hampton 1, Gentry 2, Trevon Henderson 3, Caleb Johnson 4. I got Ollie Gordon 5, RJ Harvey 6, Bashard Smith 7, Devin Neal 8. I have Kyle Monungai 10, Dylan Sam from Rutgers, he's 10. I'm really high on him. Dylan Sampson, Tennessee, I have at 11. I'm high on him. I'm giving these all out. 12, I got Taj Brooks, Texas Tech. No one's talking about this kid at all. 13, strong, but he's not flashy, but he has a role in the NFL as Damian Martinez from the U. 14, yo, this is how crazy this running back class is. At 14, I got DJ Gliddens from Kansas State. 6'1", 210, man. Jaden Blue, I'm big on him out of Texas. He's a dual threat. Come out, catch the ball. At 16, I got Raheem Rocket Sanders with 4 stars next to his name. It's all about how his knee showed up. Yo, in 2022, he was Darren McFadden 2.0 at Arkansas. Yo, and he's a bigger back, 6 foot 230, but he has an upright running style. He went off 2022, 2023, hurt his knee. 2024, transferred to South Carolina. They didn't have a great team. He had 900 yards and 11 TDs. His whole thing comes down to his knee. Broadus watch Gentry. Yeah, listen, Bo, is Gentry a 3-down back? No. And there's a difference. Listen, when Gentry played Oregon and Penn State, did he play good? Yes, but every other week they played St. Mary's School of the Blind. So let's be honest. If Gentry was in the Big Ten or the SEC, does anyone think he would put up those numbers? Yeah, I mean, yeah, Turpin is a gadget, dude. I mean, another kid to look out for, man, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. Started off at Alabama State. Then he went to New Mexico, blew up. And then he only played 1 game with Arizona State, and then they bounced him for eligibility issues. This another kid I should have hired. Bashal Tootin, Virginia Tech. I got him at 19. He should be higher. But I did, this man, I did all my rankings. But yo, boom, Khalil Mullins, Michigan. I got him at 20. I got Cam Scatterbo, 21. I got Jordan James, 22. LaQuint Allen, Syracuse, 23. I got Donovan Edwards all the way at 24. Nice size, 6'1", 230. He just has a great big question mark because you don't know what Donovan Edwards you're going to get. Yo, I got Jaquavius Woody Marks at 25. Yo, this is how long this running back class stretches. I got Phil Maffa, 6'1", 235, Clemson, man, at 26, man. And Dane Brugler didn't even have this kid getting drafted. He rushed for, in the last 2 years, 2,000 yards and 18 touchdowns. 27, I got Montrell Holland out of Florida. 28, Antonio Brown, Northern Illinois. 29, Jaquindon Jackson. 6'2", 240. He put up 15 touchdowns for Arkansas. Bro, I got 30. I got Jaden Sutton, Delaware State. 31, Jaquez Hunter, Auburn. 32, Marcus Jones, Delaware. This kid is a sleeper. Next is Jamari Taylor, North Carolina Central. 5'11", 210. Had over 1,000 yards, 11 TDs. 34, Delbert Mims, Eastern Michigan. He's a big guy too, goal line. 5'11", 220. He had 630 yards, 8 TDs. Anthony Tyus, he's a goal line back out of the MAC. He played for Ohio in the MAC, 6'1", 240. 1,215 yards, 9 touchdowns. I got a kid, Jared Hunter, out of Howard, 5'9", 210. He's my 36th ranked running back. And at my 37th ranked running back is Jada Byers out of Virginia Union. I threw a lot of HBCU kids in my rankings. He only put up 4,000 yards and over 50 touchdowns, bro. You can plug in a running back out of pretty much anywhere. Let's see, what do I got here? Safeties. I got Malachi Starks, safety 1. Safety 2 is Kevin Winston from Penn State. Then I take that back. My safety 2 is Xavier Watts, Notre Dame. Kevin Winston's 3. 4, Sebastian Castro, Iowa. 5, Latham Ransom. 6, Andrew McCumber, Texas. 7, ironically, 7, Billy Bowman. I put him in May. No one had this. Nobody had Billy Bowman. Nobody. But I did last May. And now he's like going in all third rounds. Number 8, Malachi Moore, Alabama. 9, Jaden Reed, Penn State's other safety. Number 10, I got a linebacker, but he's mad short, Nick Martin. 11, Jonas Sanka, Virginia. Upton Stout, Western Kentucky. Then I got Jordan Hancock. How ironic, Dane Brugler gave him to us. Then I got another sleeper, Dean Clark out of Fresno State. I think he might have jumped in the transfer. I think he might have went back in the portal. Akil Arnold, 14, out of USC. I got another HBCU kid, great size, Kenny Gallup out of Howard. 6'2", 215. I got RJ Mickens out of Clemson, 16. 17, Craig Woodson, Cal. Caleb Ransom, Tulane is going up, flying up boards. Elijah Clark, Syracuse, 6'1", 190. He was my 19th. And my 20th, and ironically, nobody had my 20th safety. He's a linebacker to me. Hunter Waller, played for Wisconsin. The kid's like 6'2", 225. That's linebacker next level. He's going to eat himself to linebacker. Brugler had him going like in round 6, round 7. It's ironic. I put these out before everyone else's. And look at my rankings and look at some of the so-called. Because I got to thank everyone that jumped in the chat. Because we all know when you're rocking with the GWO, it's for life. That was Dallas Mock 89.0. I got another mock I'll be throwing out later. I'll be 90 Dallas Mocks. I'll be 100. I will get 100 before. Wednesday will be mine. Then tomorrow I'm going to put out a 32-team 2-round mock draft. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in the chat. Sorry it went so long. Jeff Kavanaugh, the Star of Death.